If you've wanted to build a dropshipping business from scratch, this is the video for you. In fact, in a minute, you're gonna hear from real people putting their money and their time where their mouth is to build a business. Inside of my coaching program, I work with a very small group of people. This is gonna be a recording of one of the group calls we recently did, going through how to start from scratch and a couple key things to look out for. Product research, what to do with your store, and of course, what to do with your ads. If you're looking forward to this video, make sure to drop a like. Down below, you're gonna find a link for a Shopify extended trial. For $1, you can open your Shopify store and get very special terms. It gives you a huge advantage. You'll save a lot of money. And below that, you will find the link to apply for our group coaching program, answer a couple questions. I'm gonna send you my free course just for filling that out, but then we can see if it would be a good fit for you to work directly with us. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, I wanted to run through a couple of the important pieces here, just with starting. Everything from product identification, we can just hit on this, all the way into, stuff on the store, stuff on the sourcing, stuff on the ads. So yeah, let's take a peek. On the product identification side, might use every resource possible. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there. And then I like to build a list. So for me, I like to think about it as I'll list 10 to 20 products, narrow it down, build it back up again, narrow it down. Like I want to do that a few times. That's kind of helped me. From there, I filter based on these factors. I rank them. Competition. This is tough because you don't know exactly, but how many people are selling this on TikTok? Go search up the product, see how many videos are clearly ads and have millions of views. So if there's more than 3 to 5, it starts to get competitive. Virality, this is intuition, but like how many of these videos are popping up? You can see that. Shipping time depends on who you're sourcing with, but also consider the price. I've had stuff that was super large, like tried to sell a couch one time, tough to ship, Margin, that's obviously a huge one, and then how easy it is to make new videos. So just a few things I'm looking at and ranking the product on when I'm looking for them. PP ads, one of the things we talked about that we use. Shop Hunter, not a huge main one of mine, but people like it. Mania, some people call it Mine A, we'll never know, but reasonable tool to use. As you start to find ideas, this is where it's like people say, hey, what about scrolling on social media? That doesn't work unless you've already gotten in the algorithm for a certain type of product. And so how that would happen is, hey, I found this on a product research tool. Now let me go search it up. Right? So I'm searching the keyword. I'm searching up Galaxy projector, LED dog collar, car dog seat cover, whatever. You're looking for those ads, looking for it. You're interacting with it. That will make them start popping up, right? And I save all the posts from well-performing ads. Like all my liked and favorited things it's all e-commerce stuff. It's a little ridiculous, but there's two approaches. Okay, we're going to talk about my primary, and then I want to talk about a secondary that is usually something you do after this. Okay, budget-based killing, CPA only. So cost per acquisition. We're looking at the purchases, absolutely nothing else. Everybody's like, what about my this? What, the view rate, the links, link clicks, nothing. Cost per acquisition. Okay, this is where I run a minimum of 2 ad groups. One's at 100, ideally. The others can be 50, maybe another at 75. I launch a couple. Okay, the $100 a day ad group, if it has 0 sales, not one, I'm going to turn that off when it's at about 130 to 150 spend. This is assuming I'm selling a product for 30 to 60 bucks, right? If it's more expensive, you might want to run a higher budget. But I do not let it even come close to 200 bucks at spend unless you're selling the product that's, again, more expensive. And then those other ones that are lower budget, I'm going to let those run for 2 days or so. Again, they have to spend some money. If there's 0 sales, I'm turning it off. Anything with 1 sale, I give it a bonus, a little extension before I kill it. The real thing I'm looking for is what ad gets 2 or more. That's it. Not the video, the ad group. I want to see that. We're not even looking at the videos yet, isolated on that. I'm just looking at general ad groups. That's my initial strategy for testing a product. If I'm launching multiple things, 2 out of the 3 have 0 sales, the other has 1, I eventually have to turn them all off, try again, change the offer, change the price point, maybe reduce the selling price, charge a little more for shipping, new videos, and I try it again, and again, nothing works, then there's either something wrong with the product, or it could be your ad account, it could be a couple things, but I'm going to blame that on the product, and I'm going to move on. There's also a secondary starting strategy you can do if that first one just doesn't prove fruitful and you really believe in the product. This is quick killing. And when I say quick, I mean like immediate, off of non-CPA metrics, okay? This is where an ad's been running for 20 minutes. It spent $3, $5. The only metric I'm going to look at here is amount spent and the cost per click, CPP, or CPC, excuse me. Anything above a $1 link click, I'm going to kill it. Now, everybody likes to stick to an exact metric. if I launch, and the goal here is to launch a ton of ad groups, not 2 or 3. The strategy is different. I'm going to launch 10, 20. I might launch a couple CBOs. If all of them are above $1, I still am going to keep the cheapest 2 or 3. I still want to have 2 or 3 of the best performers comparative to everything else, right? So you want to launch a bunch of those still with 3 videos underneath. Yes, they can be all the same videos, but the goal there is just to launch a ton of stuff. You would never actually spend the full budget through on all those, and you want to kill those based on the link clicks. The theory there is that the cost is not going to improve over time, and it's probably not going to go down, which I have data that counteracts that. I have data that also doesn't. Just kind of depends on the ad account. So it's like a different approach. If you've tried a couple products with the other strategy and nothing's working, great. Well, time to change it up, you know? So there's like a secondary. Does that make sense? I want to make sure again, this will be recorded, a couple things. This will be put back in and we'll do some more stuff, but cool. Joel said he's got to head out. Cool, man. Great to see you in here. Great questions. Yeah, again, feel free to jump if you have any questions building off of this, but we'll move on. That's like the secondary one that's based on the link clicks. Okay. And again, you can do it with CBOs. So this is what Marcos did. Again, like I mentioned, I'm not at liberty to say, you know, what he was selling. That really doesn't matter. But this is what he did aggressively. He did this and then led into serve scaling, which is, again, a much more aggressive strategy where we start spending a lot. The reason I bring this up is because I've worked with a fair amount of people, not a ton, but a lot of these people that have gotten incredible results and really ran with it, they don't do everything I do. They take the main 70 to 90%, and it's like, hey, that is the core, but there's these small variables. Like if everybody on this call right now went and did the same thing on a new product that looks great, somebody's getting results and everybody else wouldn't. It would every single ad account would have different results. And that's the slight 10% illogical part of advertising, you know? So you have to try these different things. So think outside the box a little bit, be willing to test. And once you find a winner and there's sales coming in, that's when you can really test, because anything you launch at that point is not really going to lose you any money. It just might break even. That's fine. Managing ads, we have a whole section of the program, as you guys know about this, but we don't just look at lifetime. As stuff has been running, you need to look at the last 2 to 3 days, small window of optimization to make sure that performance isn't slipping. That's a big thing. If the results are dipping on the second day of worse results, make a change. This could be the videos. That's an easy one, just to remove something, swap it out, throw in some new stuff. I'll adjust the budget, usually up. I don't like to go down. And yes, if the results are going worse, yeah, I'll go from 250 to 270. Like it's not for the new budget. That's not the point. The point is re-optimizing. And there's, you know, the theory of if you're not increasing your budget by more than 20%, you know, so if I'm at 200, unless I go to 250, it's not going to re-optimize it based on TikTok's understanding of the learning phase. I disagree with that. I disagree. I'll go to 210 and I'll swap a video. So who knows if it was the budget or whatever, but I just make small changes and I want to continue tracking the results. So I'll look at day-by-day results. I'll come check on it tomorrow. If it's worse again, make one more change. If it continues to get worse, just get rid of it. There's a lot of toggling on and off. Facebook is a little more like set it and leave it. TikTok is, you know, even the greatest of ads, the highest of budgets, whatever, like they fade off. And the reason I bring that up is because you have to keep an eye on it. It'll become unprofitable quickly when it starts to turn. So bringing in new videos does help combat that, keeps the life cycle going. Got one question here. Not to cut you off. When you're done saying you immediately test the product with CBO and ABO, you can. Yeah, I don't see a reason to test a product with a CBO because a CBO, again, your budget is at one point. So if you only launch one CBO, you might have the 3 ad groups, but that's still not a proficient test. And a CBO is not $50. It's not $100. You have to launch a higher budget if you want an effective CBO. Now, the secondary strategy that I was just telling you about, though, like this, you could go launch, you know, 4 of these is 4 CBOs and then have a ton of other ABOs inside of there. But those CBOs, I might do a 30, a 50, or what, like, you know, all sorts of different budgets that are lower than I normally would. But as soon as I see the results of it here, I might be adjusting budgets right away. Like I don't like running CBOs that are even close to $100. Like 100 would be the bare minimum. I do it sometimes for testing, but I'm like a 250 a day kind of guy for CBOs. That's with a minimum of 3 ad groups and 2 or 3 videos usually underneath. So good question, but I just don't start with CBO. It's just not my thing. So scaling your ads, let's touch on this. This is where things get fun. The general concept of scaling your ads is, okay, I'm spending $1,000 a day. How do I scale? How do I spend more? But that's not necessarily how you scale. You can scale and meaning make more sales, more revenue, more everything. That is scale, increase. You could do that through charging more for your product, reducing your product cost. Now you're scaling your profits without changing anything. So scaling comes in all shapes and sizes. You can scale through new videos, scale through duplicates, which will spend more, scale through direct budget increases, again, directly spending more, scale through CBOs, and then surf scaling. But I did just want to mention all those other things, from upsells to emails. There's all these other things you can do that scale without actually spending more, right? Now, surf scaling, I know you had the question on that. We touched on this later. That's the last thing. I don't even touch this on most of my ad accounts because it's just not needed. But I mean, this is like, hey, I've been running something. I'm doing thousands and thousands of dollars minimum in sales, and I want to try something new. So yeah, happy to do some more content on this if you guys have questions on it. Another one, but that's a more advanced one that's just not needed. It's an extra thing for later. The back end, once you are like kind of crossing over that hump, things are getting reasonable. You have some sales. You're going to realize, dang, like, yeah, I'm toggling ads on and off, but there's no real time investment here. It's 20 minutes a day. So you start working on some other stuff. Upsells, candy rack. You guys know our 2 to 3 prong system, multiple points of upsells, different variations. There'll be some testing that has to happen as you scale to see which offer works the best. And this is a big one. A lot of people are, hey, I have an upsell. It's been there since day one. Well, if you're doing 50 to 100 sales a day, I change the upsell and I leave it for a week. So I want hundreds of orders so that I know my ads are consistent and the only change in the results has been the upsell. You have to have a stable data point to like make a decision on what actually worked. Another one, read $100 million offers. Another thing on crafting offers, which is what we just talked about with how the offer matters. That to me is like a later thing, is optimizing that. So I would do that. You can be a break even and use upsells to turn a profit. So this is, again, what a lot of people don't understand in the business is, hey, my offer is not perfect. I have no emails set up. I have no data points on my upsell. I'm definitely paying too much for the product. My ad is not optimized. I don't have the best videos. And my pixel's not even really helping me out yet. And they're losing 20% and they think it's a fail. Okay, let's stick with that theory for a minute. If I'm losing 20%, let's just say I scaled that. $1,000 a day in spend, $800 in sales, which means I'm losing product costs on top of that and some operational. Just with that 20% gap, I can make that up with email and text, even doing a somewhat poor job. Just that. Then you have reducing product cost, finding ways to increase the order value, not through upsells. Then you have upsells. Then you could charge, change your pricing for shipping. There's a lot of things you can do. Then optimize the offer, optimize the site. Yeah, there's like 8 things here that you can do. So start slow, give it time. Emails, we have the whole module that John did. He does 15, 16 million bucks a year via email and gave you the exact playbook. Like not one little, like every single thing. So make sure you use that. Should be a big piece of your sales. And yeah, I just wanted to get through that. A little bit of, data points on what we're doing there. But, if you guys have any questions at all, and there's one here in the chat. A lot of fun stuff here. I'm in a niche right now with different products, generating more than 100 sales, showing a new TikTok pixel. If you're changing it up, if you're going to do a different niche and you have over 100 sales, try a product, and if it doesn't work, consider doing a new pixel. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Oftentimes the pixel, it doesn't really help you until later. So, you can definitely do it and just change the pixel. If you tested a few products and didn't work, that's fine. Will getting out of the learning phase make a huge difference in the consistency of the ad groups? For instance, some days get 10, the other days get 2 to 3. No. That, in my opinion, look, from my conversations with TikTok, and I finally got like internal contacts there. 2 days ago, I was on the phone like with TikTok, which is like a godsend. But like their understanding of the learning phase is based on getting 50 conversions in a week, so 7-day period. So you just kind of work backwards on what your current CPA is and figuring out what your daily budget needs to be. To me, it's more budget based. Whether I'm in or out of the learning phase, like I have ads that do well consistently that are in it because the budgets are too low and they do well for a long time. So I don't actually think the learning phase is a piece of it. I just think it's budget and it's optimization. So I don't really that's why when I launch ads, I do not follow what TikTok says. I followed their strategy and they led me to spend $98,000 in the first month. Okay. And this thing, it was not profitable. Okay. It wasn't super unprofitable, but I probably lost 15 grand properly. They're saying, okay, well, that's not working. Let's add $1,000 a day, add to cart, CBO. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Of course it doesn't work. I told them it wouldn't work, but they're like following a playbook here. And it's just not, again, that's the 10% variable difference that you have to test. So I truly followed what they showed and it's just not effective. and they do it based on the learning phase. So I was launching higher budgets. It's just not what I've seen to work. Maybe it works for you, hasn't worked on mine. Yeah. Ever use cost caps when scaling? Yes, I think I talked about it in the program. Cost caps are usually immensely profitable, but they rarely spend their full daily budget as you start to scale. And the problem with that, cost caps are what creates my spending issues. I haven't touched them in the last 12 months, even though they are always my most profitable ads. The reason is because they shut down my entire account. The entire thing stops spending. And it's like a 4-day period to get back to full spend, and I lose a ton of money. So while they're great, and you might be able to start it in the beginning and try it out once you already get some sales, it's a bad habit, because it's like, hey, I used a little bit of Adderall, like built my business. Well, now you're going to associate that with the result you're getting in the, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to want to do more of it, and it will cause an ad account issue. So if you're going to do it, it should never be more than 5% of your total budget spent, which means you don't even touch it until you're spending thousands a day. Great question. Great question. I mean, they're awesome. I wish they didn't create spending issues. A lot of people like to jump in and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get results in a week. I've seen it happen maybe 5, 10 times. Like there's a lot of times where that doesn't happen. And like that shouldn't be your expectation. If it happens, great, but I think it's better to go through the struggling. This is not working. I'm changing, I'm testing, I'm feeling it out. Because that's what it takes to build the skill, get proficient with advertising. It's like the first time you go lift, do a new workout in the gym. Like you're not gonna have perfect form. It would be unreasonable for you to think you would. It takes time. Develop that, just like developing a muscle. It's truly an honor to be able to work with a great group of people that are asking awesome questions, and they are dedicating themselves to learning a new skill. Now, we're going to chat with Marcos one-on-one, a student of mine who really pushed it. He was hitting $25,000 days with his store, just running TikTok ads using one of my strategies. Super awesome to see. Now, again, you can apply for the group coaching with that link down below. Just answer a couple questions, and let's chat with Marcos. All right, so we got Marcos on here. Give me a little run through on your experience inside the program.
Yeah, so I joined about last year, maybe around when it first started opening for the ads program. I was pretty bad at running ads. It took me a little bit to really get the hang of it. I started seeing some success, but unfortunately the product, like I just didn't know, I didn't have enough margin on it, so I ended up cutting it. But that was my first product that I did revenue with. And then eventually, fast forward a few months, like 2 months later, I hit a big winner, and I ended up doing like 300,000 over the course of like 2 months. It had really good margin on it. We started using like high budget ABOs, and then what the biggest game changer for me and running ads was using surf scaling. And that's when we took it from like 2K days all the way to 17K the next day, and then 25K, and then we were just hitting that. Eventually our ad accounts got, taken down eventually. But yeah, we were surf scaling. That was like the biggest thing. And then we were just using ABOs strictly, ACO, and that's what got us to those big number high revenue days. And we were still pushing like 25 to 30% margin until eventually the product died off. But we still use surf scaling to this day. We use half ABOs and half CBOs, but that's what's been working best for me.
Nice, man. I remember you making those posts in the group, 17K in a day, hitting a $250,000 in sales. So I love seeing that progress. What was one thing that you weren't doing in the beginning when you weren't really getting great results versus once you were hitting these 15, 20, $30,000 days? Was it like one thing, like running ads or a better product with margin? What was like the biggest
Yeah,
challenge for you?
honestly, like I didn't know how to like really find a winner. Like I didn't start utilizing like ad spy tools till like way later than I should have. So once I started, getting tracking, sorry.
Good.
Once I started getting Shopify tracking sites, like Shop Hunter, I was using PP ads, I was using mineA.com. And yeah, basically that's how we found all these good products, and then we started testing. And it only took me like 4 like products off of like just finding just utilizing PP ads and Shop Hunter until I found that product, and then I just used the scaling strategies, surf scaling, and just ran it up with those high budget ABOs.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, where are you going from here? I mean, you're doing good numbers. You got some cash set aside, so now you can, start something with a little more firepower. What's next?
Yeah, what's next is I just started recently. I hired two VAs right now to look for products for me off PP. So they're just building a product list, and then I go through the list, take a look at everything. Next on the list is to hire somebody to build me stores because I really don't like building stores. It's a waste of time for me. But yeah, I just want to media buy. I just want to run those testing campaigns, do like 4x40 broad EBO, and then just surf scale once we find something that's profitable or a little bit profitable, we'll just switch up the offer and
Nice.
then see what we can do. But right now it's just kind of just scaling like how much volume I can test and taking some stress off from like building sites, looking for products because I have those people doing that for me. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, dude, those are the things that you can start getting off your plate slowly, slowly. You got to do it right. But I mean, for
Yeah.
the last 4.5 years, I haven't built one store. I haven't filmed ads myself. I've never like
Yeah.
done any of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I modify a product description or whatever, but I'm
Yeah.
just a media buyer. That's it. I've
Um,
tried to outsource that piece. That's hard, but dude, it's
yeah, I know. I can't because you just got to get a feel for it. Like all those months I spent, like I just have like a feel for media buying. That's what helps me like scale pretty well.
yeah. And you've been
So
running only TikTok ads, right?
yeah, only TikTok guys. I don't do any organic. I don't do Facebook. Only TikTok. So I try to stick to one platform until
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. So
One vertical can take you so far. A lot of people try to split off. Like you can go to 1 million a month with one thing. Like
yeah,
I
and
did 1 million a month before I ever went from Facebook to somewhere else because I was only
yeah,
on Facebook.
yeah. And TikTok has its own
Yes.
crazy, yeah, full
Wow.
of problems. It's crazy out
Good.
here.
Congrats on it. I know you've been putting in the hard work. I love to see the
Yeah,
results. So you got to keep
yeah.
it moving.
Yeah, for sure. And the
Uh,
cool thing is, using surf scaling and all these ad strategies, ABOs, learning how to media buy, like it's not just for dropshipping. We use this for affiliate offers. We ran this up like 150,000 revenue for affiliate offers, and we took home like 50K each, me and my buddy in like a month. It was crazy. Not even a month. It was like
Big
2 months.
margin because you don't have to fill in the
No
product.
margin or like no, yeah, it was like
Yeah.
stupid crazy
Were
margin.
you
It was sick.
using the platforms that we recommend inside the program?
No, we were using a different one. We were using Tap Affiliate Network. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
familiar with it, but we killed it with that. But yeah,
It's
it was
good
good.
path, man. So
Yeah, good.
you would give somebody the thumbs up to join the program. It's helped.
Yeah, no, yeah, you need to like it's good. It's good. The amount of value you get is worth it. I still use everything to this day. So
Nice, man.
appreciate
Glad
it.
to see you're on the uptrend. Keep putting in the work.
For sure, for sure. Thank you.
What an incredible conversation. Marcos is crushing it, and I'm super excited to see what he comes up with next, where he goes, because he's building new stores. He's building his team. He's starting to build a real company. And that's what's exciting. While he's made some good money, now we chatted after that. He's looking at buying a cool car. He was asking my opinion, but he's not even getting started yet. This is just the beginning of his career, and I'm so excited to see where he's able to go from here. So again, if you want to work directly with myself, my team, get a dedicated coach, all these other things, just click the button down below, watch a short video, and then you'll be able to answer a couple questions. It'll explain some more in-depth things on what we do inside the coaching. And don't forget, there's the Shopify trial down below. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section here on this video. I'd be happy to help you out. We've made so many e-commerce videos on this channel, and there's a reason why we have over 300,000 subscribers and a really successful coaching program. It's because what we do works. That's it. Have a good one.